At the moment, we have many local organizations interested in Esfera because it's not just a tool or a handbook, it's also a language that you can communicate with institutional humanitarian actors that they know, and we work on that to make the environment accessible for local organizations. We implement Esfera and standards in everything we do.
So Fraternity International Humanitarian Missions is taking part in this 5-day ToT after 2 workshops delivered, one in Varsóvia back in February and another one in Przemysl in May. It's part like a culmination of a process that since the beginning of the year being partnered with the Esfera Association, Save the Children International and Humanitarian Leadership Academy to train new trainers in order to deliver the Esfera humanitarian standards mainly in the Eastern Europe region.
We are currently with a course with a group of 14 people from 5 different countries, all from Eastern Europe, and they will be able to bring this knowledge back home, to impart this knowledge to their colleagues and implement the standards.
I've been in development since 2008, and in 2014 when we had the humanitarian crisis started in Ukraine, basically we had all the coordination system in place already, but they were not very accessible for local organizations in Ukraine. They didn't have the humanitarian background. And that's why we started conducting trainings in core humanitarian standard, but also in Esfera. And that's how ToT in Ukraine happened.
I am living about 100 or 150 kilometers far from Ukrainian borders, so I am living in Eslováquia, so it was like very, very difficult even to hear about this emergency.
For me, since the war started and being in very close ties with the places where the war is happening, it showed once again the first time when I felt that everything can happen. And on one hand, I've been working in education and in non-governmental sector for a very long time. On one hand, this is where you expect to change people and support people.
It was for us, it was also great opportunity to help people in need in such a humanitarian crisis.
My job is to support our employees, but they will be better to support the refugees and children, yes. It means that if I'm able to take care of our employees, that they are, well prepared, they have development plans and they can feel secured at work.
So ever since Fraternity International Missions was acquainted with the Esfera international standards, we have mainly acted upon 2 branches, so to speak. We have implementing them on the field in the humanitarian missions developed by the Fraternity, and at the same time we began a series of capacity buildings, a series of trainings and courses.
As a Esfera focal point since 2020, Fraternity International Humanitarian Missions has translated the Esfera handbook into Brazilian and European Portuguese.
Hopefully to sharing these standards, to sharing this knowledge, sharing the course with people that are completely engaged in the humanitarian response and will become multipliers of the minimum standards in their own countries.
For Esfera, this is a crucial moment. We are finally getting to a point that the handbooks are very close to be finished with the translation, and they will be available. Unfortunately, this crisis is not stopping now. It will protract for a little while, and we feel more confident that these people that we've shared so much with, they're going to be more prepared and ready to disseminate the knowledge.
Whenever we talk about Esfera and minimum standards, we try to explain to local organizations that it's not something imposed by international community. It is the experience and the mistakes that many of them made already and made their own lessons and conclusions out of that. We have many volunteer organizations engaged into response, and it's quite important that these people again have proper attitude towards humanitarian response.
For us, it's not the end, it's the new beginnings, and especially because with this specific cohort, it breaks the silos in a way that unites the region, and they will hopefully be able to plan together.
I'm happy that the Sphere community is quite welcoming the knowledge and context of local communities and field responders.
I would like to be the trainer, and I would like to possess, of course, more, information from the Sphere standards to be able to share this knowledge with others. At second, of course, it's the Sphere, is also giving me the possibility that maybe someday I will be able to go, to the mission.
I have big plans. I think that that many organizations that are working in Slovakia don't use some standards that are used in worldwide. So hopefully I can bring new way of trainings into some trainings programs.
The perspectives for the second semester, mainly regarding Poland humanitarian missions, is to increase our expansion in the humanitarian capacity building sector, offering not only in-person workshops, but also online humanitarian capacity building in 3 different languages, in Portuguese and Spanish, but also in English.
So these are the main prospects for us as Sphere trainers to become, and for the people who are here, being trained here, that we can bring this knowledge to new places, new scenarios, and share the minimum standards wherever they are needed the most.